The voice got deeper.
He brought his big boy voice to 2011. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, we were talking about how would Miami bounce back. Well, they trailed in the Chicago series. It's the only time they've trailed in a series so far in these playoffs. They got beat badly by 21 in game one, but they bounced back in a big way with 5 straight wins. A very resilient team as Bibby misses that one. Loose ball, Anthony and Kidd fighting for it. And Sean Marion comes up with it. Ahead to Stevenson. There's Marion, who's been the unsung hero for the Mavericks. Deflects it, ball still loose. James comes away. Dwayne Wade. Scoop up and under past Stevenson.
Well, that's going to be key when you talk about the Miami Heat, getting it going in transition. And it can't be just for 3 quarters. They've got to continue that type of energy and effort in the 4th quarter.
James on Marion. Anthony picks him up. Jason Kidd the fake. That's a 2-pointer from Kidd. In game 2, Dallas shot 48%, but they turned it over 20 times. So unusual, Jeff, for a team to turn it over 20 times on the road and still get a win.
Exactly, and that's because of the rebounding came back in game 2, and they didn't put Miami to the free throw line.
Wade, top of the backboard's inbounds, but it hit the shot clock wire. So out of bounds. Spanish language version of today's game presented by ESPN Deportes. Use the SAP button on your television. Miami Heat, as we said when we were in Miami, just like Dallas, they're tied for the best road record in the NBA this season as Kidd knocks down a 3. Jason Kidd off to a good start. His 2nd field goal.
Looks like Jason Kidd was affected with the first play made for him as Mike Bibby blocked his shot. Certainly has been aggressive on the 2 plays after that, knocking down jump shots.
Kidd has not scored a lot in this series. Not that that's his role. Shot clock down to 7. Wade, nice move inside. Another scoop layup. Oh, pretty play from Dwayne Wade.
3 different pick and rolls. Wade has to make a miraculous behind-the-back dribble to get in position to score.
Chandler had it knocked away, but Bibby fouled him. So Bibby picks up his first.
This is great individual play. Behind-the-back split. Split the 2 7-footers. Kiss it off the glass. My, oh my.
Just incredible. We start to take for granted when he makes so many of these plays. As Chandler able to connect on the free throw.
As a coach, too, Rick Carlisle can nitpick and say what they could have done better on that possession by Dwayne Wade, but that's just outstanding offense and the ability to be creative in midair.
And the Dallas defense has been excellent. We've talked so much and raved about the Miami Heat defense, but Dallas's defense, a huge part of that comeback, and it's certainly one of the key reasons why they're here in the finals.
What the Mavericks are doing, they're forcing the Miami Heat to beat them on their own terms. Keeping the best players on the perimeter, making them shoot contested jump shots, and keeping them out of the paint area.
Shot clock down to 5. Good defense from Stevenson. Wade, again, by himself, flips it up. Oh, and he puts it in. Oh, such difficult shots from Wade as the shot clock expired.
But some of those shots coming down the stretch against good defense, he stopped and took a 3. So did LeBron James. In this case, he kept putting his head down and got all the way to the rim.
Good ball movement. Sean Marion completes it. Well, you look in game 2, and the Miami Heat took 30 3-pointers and just 24 free throw attempts. That's usually the opposite for this team. One of the best at getting to the line, especially James and Wade. Bosh had it blocked, and Bosh shaken up on the play. Stevenson puts up the 3, knocks it down. Bosh still down on the floor at the other end of the court. And apparently he's really hurt. Forcing the Heat to call timeout. Let's take a look at the play. It didn't appear like it was anything major during the play, but he went down right away. Before he put up the shot as he was going in his motion, took the shot. Hard to even tell on that replay. And now he's up. Timeout Miami.
Now we move ahead to further action.
Dallas a 1-point lead. You can track the most recent NBA Facebook trends. Vote for your favorite players to help them become the social MVP. Only on NBA.com/playoff pulse. They didn't have social MVPs back in the 06 finals.
Wade would have won.
He won everything else that year. James on the drive. Hop step goes right at Chandler and gets it to go. Good power move from James. The Heat continue to attack the basket. They're back up by 1. Stojakovic off the mark. Chandler tips it, but right to Bibby. Both teams shooting over 50% from the field, much like the start in game 2. And just the opposite of game 1. Wade blocked. Good help defense from Chandler. And then a turnover the other way. Haslam gets it to go. And the court a little slippery because the player's falling down. Stojakovic slipped. And Rick Carlisle calls timeout as the Heat go up by 3 on a 7-1 run. 2.5 remaining in the first. Miami on top.
ESPN's presentation of the 2011 NBA Finals on ABC. Brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Volkswagen. That's the power of German engineering. That's Das Auto. And the new film Captain America, the First Avenger. In theaters July 22nd. This film is not yet rated.
Restraints now. We move ahead to further action.
So not only was the rebound department a big turnaround from game 1. Miami plus 10 in game 1. Dallas plus 11 in game 2. But the bench, the same thing, as the Dallas bench outscored the Miami bench 23-11. That's usually, Mark, a huge sign for the Mavericks when the bench plays well.
Well, they're key. You're talking about having their better offensive guys coming in off the bench, so they expect them to have an impact on the offensive end and get it going. Those are the guys that most of the time close the game, especially a guy like Jason Terry. Putting him in pick and roll situations down the stretch is their best offense.
Durant knocks down the second. We're all even. Final minute, first quarter. Both Sean Marion and Deshaun Stevenson have done an excellent job on LeBron James. I mean, he's still going to put up numbers. Well, those two have worked with help from their teammates and played excellent defense. James this time drives and finishes, throws it down. We're talking about the good defense. Barea spinning to the basket, flips it up, can't get it to go, and Miller the rebound. There's about a 3-second difference, shot clock and game clock as we wind down the first quarter. James drives, crossover move to the basket and draws the foul. And Miami getting into the paint once again.
Dwayne Wade laughing. Grown man move by LeBron James. It's good to know that Bohemia is down with the king. My goodness.
But I'm going to tell you what, that defense before he elevated was as bad as you could do. Marion blow by. Everybody else swiping at the ball instead of putting their body in front of the ball. If you're just going to swipe at this guy, you'll have no success.
Well, Rick Carlisle calls it the launching pad. He says that's when Wade and LeBron James drive to the basket. You can't even foul them because they make the basket as well on what he calls the launching pad dunks.
I'm not understanding, again, what the Dallas Bigs are doing right now. Other than Mahimi's charge, they have not been there. And even when you're helping up, you got to help off Chalmers. You got to help off Mike Miller.
Got a view of what James shooting into here in the crowd here, dressed in their blue shirts. Final seconds, first quarter. Barea kicks it out to Terry. And Terry could not control it, so Miami will have 3.5 seconds to get off a shot.
And the problem there, you turn it over 3.5 seconds. There's plenty of time to push the ball down the floor and get a good look.
Stevenson's going to come in for defense here. Stojakovic sits down. Stevenson gets right up on LeBron James. Brian Cardinal will check in for Nowitzki. Cardinal had that brief appearance in game 2.
This one's going to even be briefer. 3.5 seconds.
Haslam. Back to Chalmers, puts it up with the buzzer. Oh, he puts it in! Chalmers nails it and got it off in time. The play was for LeBron James. That was defended well, and Haslam making the right decision to get it to Chalmers. Mario Chalmers, excellent job throwing it down. And the Miami Heat a 7-point lead. Both LeBron James and Dwayne Wade attacking the goal as Miami shooting 52% from the field.
Here in the NBA studio, we want to thank you for watching this ESPN NBA presentation. Due to time constraints now, we move ahead to further action.
The Heat on the attack early here in game 3. They lead by 8. Early second time for our Miller Lite man-up moment.
And whether Tyson Chandler is trying to avoid foul trouble because of Brendan Haywood's absence or not, the Mavericks have to protect the basket better and harder. Right here, that's a charge or a block. You can't be giving ground out of the way. And then when LeBron James is isolated, you can't be turning your back. Everybody's got to be helping. You have to keep the ball out of the paint and away from the basket if you're to win these type of games.
And see the numbers, 16-4 already. Chandler back in. Miller from beyond the arc. Haslam the rebound.
And that was the first time Dallas had been in zone. They give up a second shot.
The zone was effective in game 1. Bosh, the spin move, poked away. Chandler got hit in the head. Barea drives. Stevenson, Chandler as the trailer trying to jam it into Nowitzki, knocked it out of bounds. Miami ball.
And Jason Terry looking at Deshaun Stevenson saying, you got to shoot that basketball. You're wide open, you're shooting it well, shoot with confidence.
But I thought he made a good play. I think Chandler's just got to make the right decision there. Instead of pass it, jump up and shoot your little jump hook.
My old coach used to tell me, know your customer. That's not Tyson Chandler's strength, catching it at the foul line and making a play.
Miller the travel.
No, you're putting him in a bad position because that's not his strength. So you wind up with a turnover instead of a quality look from the three-point line.
Everybody's got to learn to order. You got to learn to order if you're Tyson Chandler.
Nowitzki driving on Bosh. 2 defenders around him. Kicks it out. J.J. Barea launches a 3. Dallas shooting now down to 43%. The Heat down to 46%. Bosh has been very aggressive. Wade trying to go in. Ball poked away. 2-on-1. Terry back to Nowitzki. Miller with a foul. Counted and 1. The 2-on-1 break leading to perhaps a 3-point play for the Mavericks.
Well, not handled especially well by Dallas. Nowitzki backs it down. Not really sure, not a lot of contact there, but Nowitzki always makes it look with his body being contorted like he's being hit.
6 points for Nowitzki. Back to the free throw line where he's been almost automatic throughout these playoffs. 7-0 run now for Dallas.
I'll tell you what, Jason Terry has given quality minutes. I love his energy and the way that he's getting after it offensively, whether it be scoring or making plays. I expect to see Jason Kidd get him more involved offensively.
Wade once again in the paint. And Wade's got 10 points.
And we can talk all we want about the help defense, But if you're a primary defender like Shawn Marion was there on Wade, you've got to do a better job of keeping the ball in front. You know they're attacking. Give them a little cushion. Make them shoot the jump shot.
Nowitzki, here comes a double team. Excellent help from Miller. Comes up with a steal ahead to Wade. And Wade throws it down. Turnovers once again hurting Dallas. That's the 6th for them, and it's led to 14 Heat points. No team in the NBA even close as good as Miami in terms of converting turnovers to easy buckets. Excellent ball movement. Nowitzki for 3. Haslem tips it. Chalmers to Bosch. Bosch blocked by Nowitzki. 2 blocks for Dirk Nowitzki here in the early going. That's kind of what you want to see from your 7-footers down low, right, Jeff? As a whistle and a foul.
No, absolutely right. You have to protect the basket. And Nowitzki has missed a lot of good shots in the first 3 quarters of both games. He had another corner 3. He missed it, but give him credit. Hustling back and blocking the dunk attempt by Bosch.
Yeah, we'll have a timeout with midway through the second quarter here of Game 3 of the NBA Finals. He was the Finals MVP in 06, and he has been superb once again in these finals, averaging 29 a game through the first 2, shooting 56%, 7.5 boards, 6 assists, and he's already had 17 points here in the first half of Game 3. He had the big game in Game 2, had 36, but that became a non-story after Dallas made that magnificent comeback.
Miami's basically been dominant in this series, except for that little 6-minute spurt at the end of Game 2.
You know, we've talked so much about the good defense Marion and Stevenson playing on LeBron James. How about the defense Dallas is playing on Nowitzki? I mean, he had that great finish in Game 2, but overall they've done an excellent job as Chandler pokes it away. And it's going to be Dallas ball. Joel Anthony, Haslem, he's had a host of defenders on him as well.
I think this is the best job they've done on him. The reason why is because they're being very physical, they're staying connected, and they're doubling hard. At the same time, you're Dirk Nowitzki, you got to be aggressive and meet force with force because they can't guard you neither.
Hit short, but gets his own rebound. Back out Nowitzki, wide open for 3. That's good. Dirk Nowitzki with a much-needed 3-pointer for the Mavericks. He's got 10 points in the first half.
And they went right back to that double or staggered side pick and roll with Jason Terry that helped them down the stretch in Game 2, and it got Kidd a wide open 3 attempt.
Wade inside to Haslem. Nowitzki may have gotten a piece of it. That would be his 3rd block. Terry the drive. And a nice play from Haslem. Still Dallas ball with 19 to shoot.
Well, sometimes you've got to make plays for your teammates. You can't expect them to make every play. That time, baseline drive, and Kidd finds Dirk Nowitzki as he's demanding the basketball. I'm wide open. I'm wide open. Nobody on him. This is what he does for a living. Dirk Nowitzki, do you. Knocks down the jumper.
He's 19 for 37 from 3-point range in the playoffs. Terry fouled by Bosch. That's 2 on Bosch. Miami in the penalty. Coming up, the T-Mobile halftime report. Stuart Scott, Magic Johnson, John Barry, Michael Wilbon. They'll analyze the first half, and an incredible story from Mike Miller and his family. The playoff journey that he's had. We spoke about it earlier in the playoffs with his newborn daughter. Had all sorts of complications. Miller was going back and forth between the hospital and Chicago and practice. And we'll hear from Miller and his wife and the journey he's had with their new baby girl.
I want to encourage the people watching this game to make sure to tune in at halftime because it was an outstanding piece done on Mike Miller and his family.
Crowd trying to urge the Mavericks. They trail by as many as 14 right now, an 8-point game. Have to make another comeback. Something they're pretty good at. Bibby to James. Shot clock at 5. Marion crowds him. 2 on the shot clock. James has to hoist it up. Way off the mark. Just grazed the rim. Excellent defense from Shawn Marion. Marion drives, trying to draw some contact, and he does. Shawn Marion has been superb the last several games and gets a nice ovation from the crowd.
And Coach, we've been in situations like this as a player and also as a coach, where you don't finish up the half and you wind up having to win the ball game twice.
It happened last game for Dallas, remember. They let Miami end on a 9-0 run. Wade attacking, brought it back to, I believe, a tie score at halftime. You have to finish quarters and halves.
8-0 run by Dallas. It's a 6-point game. Marion 6 points, couple of rebounds, couple of assists. Crowd back into it. Bibby straight on three. Nowitzki the rebound, but a loose ball foul against Dallas. And Wade will shoot free throws. Wade is attacking the boards. He's got 6 rebounds already. Remember, he had 10 in game 1.
Well, Jason Kidd doing a very good job defending Dwayne Wade and keeping him off the glass.
See, but players have learned to contort their body and make everything seem like it's a foul. It's a plague that is taking away from the product. And I don't care what anybody says, selling it well, whatever. This is not good. Jason Kidd did nothing. Wade just knows this baseline official can't see it, so he has to react to the body contortion. And because of that, he breaks a run. And I don't know why anybody thinks this is good for basketball, including my partner.
Marion, the fake, spinning against James. Marion flips it up and in. Back to 6, under a minute remaining, first half. Pace is picked up here, late second quarter. The double on James. Shot clock at 7. Wade out to Bosch. Good open look. And Bosch can't hit. Nowitzki the rebound.
If you're Dallas, you want to pull it out. You don't want to go quick right now. Pull it out and run a set.
And those are the shots Bosch knocked down against Chicago to advance.
He's just 2 for 9. And as we said coming into this game, he'd really been struggling from the field. 26% the first 2 games. Nowitzki, shot clock at 3. Kicks it out. Kidd fakes. Oh, and draws the foul. Great fake from Kidd as Wade went crashing into him. One of the smartest players the NBA has ever seen. Little head fake, and he go to the line for 3.
So good at selling the shot. Gets Dwayne Wade in the air. No question about the contact.
But it will be 2. As you can see, watch on the fake. That foot was on the line.
And he traveled.
Yeah, what people don't see, we fall in love with paying attention to the shot when you lose sight of the traveling violation that constantly occurs.
Well, the officials looking at the replay, they can't change it to a travel call. All they can do on this is whether it's 2 or 3 shots.
And they should be able to. If you're going to go back and look at one rule, you should be able to negate it with another rule. Like if he stepped out of bounds, you should be able to do that. I mean,
I disagree with you.
Listen, like that's not news, okay? So if I say it, it should just be assumed that you disagree.
See Wade looking up at the basket, just great little hit.
I mean, come on now. That's not even close.
And he goes crashing into the sideline. And the gentleman took a hard shot, took a good charge, and it looks to be okay.
And how about you, partner? Wrong again, because the custodian is back in the ball game for another brief stint.
3.5 plus 3.4 is 6.9.
Nice. Kidd misses the free throw.
They have not shot the ball well from the free throw line.
11 of 15. Wade will bring it up, trying to get off one final shot at the buzzer. Oh, almost banks it in. That one looked like it was going to go down. But Dallas turns it around after trailing by 14.